Mental health is very important, but for vulnerable populations and marginalized groups, a deeper understanding is needed to address the challenges that are faced. Today's guest is here to unveil her vision of a sanctuary tailored to African American individuals where healing and self-care take center stage. Let's welcome Dr. Shacunda Rogers, who is transforming the narrative around mental health care. Welcome, Dr. Rogers.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on. So, in your experience, how does the historical context of oppression and marginalization contribute to the need for specialized support for Black individuals in the mental health realm?
Sure. We know that there's a direct link between oppression and mental health. And one of the phrases that I often use is that our issues live in our tissues. And what that really means is oppression, whether it's present day or generational, really can impact the minds, the hearts, the bodies and the spirits of Black people. It can be passed down through the generations, and it can affect us today. And so it's really important to have specifically tailored approaches that honor the humanity of Black people, are rooted in culturally competent care so that Black people can heal from this trauma that they're carrying in their bodies, minds, and hearts.
Yeah, and what are some of the unique challenges that the Black community faces when it comes to accessing mental health care, and how does that impact our overall well-being?
Yeah, I think there are two main considerations. One is the stigma surrounding mental health. There is a great deal of shame sometimes tied to the vulnerabilities that we carry. Sometimes people will equate needing care with feeling weak or somehow not strong enough to handle a challenge on their own. And so we really are trying to take the stigma out of mental health. And then the second piece is lack of representation. So there are very few practitioners of color in the mental health field and very, very few Black practitioners in the mental health field, so that even if people do reach out for care, their ability to maybe find a Black practitioner might be really, really limited. And so that also creates a barrier.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you pointed out there is a stigma around mental health, and like you mentioned, it's being vulnerable, and for a lot of people that's scary to do, and you want to make sure that you're matching with somebody that can understand you where you're at.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned the lack of Black therapists, so are there resources available that do address this so that for people in our community, if they do want to take on mental health services, those are provided?
Sure. I can tell you about our nonprofit, which is called Holding Space. One thing that's really important to us at Holding Space is culture and community are medicine, and those can be the healing factors in care. And we also know that healing looks different for everyone. So for one person, psychotherapy might be their path to wellness. For another person, again, it might be taking care of their body. So what we're trying to do is offer an integrated, holistic approach with practitioners from a variety of healing modalities. So it's really important for Black people to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel valued, and to be in a space where they don't necessarily have to explain the connection between oppression and mental health, and not seek to have that validated and maybe not validated or have that misunderstood. And so we're trying to provide a safe space for people to be able to heal.
Yeah, a holding space.
A holding space, absolutely.
And what's been the response from people who've been able to use the services that you provide? Because, I mean, representation does matter.
Representation is everything. I can tell you that the people who have come to our offerings have said a few things. One, they feel seen, they feel valued, they feel cared for, they feel supported, they feel affirmed. One of the things we try to do is to bring in these holistic practices, but the foundation of it is culturally competent practices and culturally rooted practices. So we, bring in African-centered psychology, African-centered wisdom tradition practices, and so it's really about helping Black people to connect back to culture as a healing modality, and remember that we are inherently worthy. We deserve to be well, whole, and healed.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. You can go to weareholdingspace.org, and you can also check them out on Instagram at weareholdingspace_SAC.